The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping just recast President Snow, and while the new star is a great fit, the prequel just missed the perfect opportunity. Serving as an adaptation of the latest installment of Suzanne Collins's Hunger Games book series, the new film will be a prequel, taking place 24 years before the tale of Katniss Everdeen. The Sunrise on the Reaping story focuses on Haymitch Abernathy and his winning of the 50th Hunger Games, with actor Joseph Zada set to play the character after Woody Harrelson's memorable turn as the figure in the 4 original movies. Sunrise on the Reaping is set to bring back several characters who were featured in the original Hunger Games tetralogy and the recent prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, 2023. Among the returning characters is the villainous President Coriolanus Snow. Actor Donald Sutherland memorably played the character across the 4 original movies, serving as a sinister antagonist for Katniss, with Tom Blythe then playing the character in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes cast. Following Sutherland's death last June at age 88, Ralph Fiennes is now confirmed to be playing President Snow in Sunrise on the Reaping. Kiefer Sutherland was the popular choice to play President Snow in Sunrise on the Reaping. Donald Sutherland's son features several traits that work in his favor. Kiefer Sutherland with a beard as Rusty in The Contractor. As a Hunger Games prequel set more than 2 decades in the past, Sunrise on the Reaping's timeline would have made it a challenge for Donald Sutherland to reprise his role as Snow even if he was still alive. But, following his passing, his son, actor Kiefer Sutherland, emerged as an obvious choice to play this younger version of the iconic character. Kiefer Sutherland, who is 58, is essentially the perfect age to be playing the Snow featured in Sunrise on the Reaping. There's also the fact that the two Sutherlands look remarkably similar. Any recast is always going to be jarring, but having this younger Sutherland take on the role could have eased the transition, at least from a visual standpoint. Having a sense of visual continuity between the 2 versions of Snow could have helped Sunrise on the Reaping feel like a more natural prequel story to the main Hunger Games movies. What's more, Kiefer Sutherland taking on the role would have been a fitting tribute to his father's immense contributions to the franchise. The 4 Hunger Games movies were all remarkably successful and generally well received critically, with particular praise aimed at Donald Sutherland's devious and yet irresistibly charming performance as the Panem president. Roles that prove Kiefer Sutherland would have been a great President Snow recast choice. The younger Sutherland is no stranger to playing antagonists. Kiefer Sutherland will be best known to many for playing protagonist Jack Bauer on the 24 TV show. The actor, however, does have a great deal of experience playing more villainous characters, suggesting he would have made for an effective Snow. One of Sutherland's most notable early roles, after all, is as antagonist Ace Merrill in Stand By Me, 1986. Just the next year, he also appeared in The Lost Boys, 1987, giving life to the slick and deadly David, a vampire gang leader. Sutherland continued his villainous streak into the 90s and 2000s, delivering a more understated antagonist performance as Lieutenant Jonathan Kendrick in A Few Good Men, 1992. Other notable Sutherland villain performances include Robert "Bob" Wolvertone in Freeway, 1996, Robert Doob in Eye for an Eye, 1996, Freddie Lee Cobb in A Time to Kill, 1996, Dr. Daniel Schreiber in Dark City, 1998, and The Caller in Phone Booth, 2002. These movies feature Sutherland playing characters that range from being tragic villains to pure evil, and many feature some degree of charm, making him a great fit for Snow. Ralph Fiennes is still a great choice to play Snow in Sunrise on the Reaping. Fiennes continues to surprise and entertain. Ralph Fiennes about to cast a spell with his wand as Voldemort in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Though Kiefer Sutherland would have made for a perfect Snow recast in Sunrise on the Reaping, the role is still in very good hands. Fiennes continues to prove himself one of the most talented actors working in Hollywood today, playing both action heroes and villains, and everything in between. He most recently had a starring role in the Oscar-nominated Conclave, 2024, its Fiennes' role as Voldemort in the Harry Potter franchise, however, that most proves just how effective he will be as Snow. Fiennes made the role his own with a unique voice and way of moving through the world, making Voldemort one of the most iconic roles of his long and successful career. It undoubtedly would have been interesting to see Kiefer Sutherland follow in his father's footsteps and breathe life into this crucial franchise villain, but The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping is still shaping up to be an exciting return to Panem.